For the second consecutive year, the first pick in the NBA draft was a Frenchman, as the Atlanta Hawks chose forward Zaccharie Risacher. He was followed by another French-borne player, Sarr, drafted to the Wizards. But of course, they're not alone in the draft. The Hornets selected Tizian Salon with the 6th pick, another French forward. Then at number 25, New York selected Pacome Dadier. The French takeover has dominated the headlines. 3 of the top 6 picks were from France, including the first 2. Of the 14 players selected in the first 7 picks over the last 2 drafts, 5 have been French. In total, a dozen French players have been chosen in the past 3 drafts, and this one isn't even finished yet. At least 2 more could easily be selected by the end of the second round. This is noteworthy considering that before last June, there were only 2 rotation players in the entire NBA from the country of France, 35-year-old Nick Batum and reigning Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert. Among the new talent is of course the rising superstar, last season's Rookie of the Year Victor Wembanyama, and of course there's more to come. France's 2025 draft class features a likely high lottery pick in guard Nolan Traore, along with 2 other potential first-rounders in forward Noah Essing and guard Noah Penda. This is all part of the NBA's increasing internationalization. The last 6 MVP trophies have been awarded to players from overseas, with the top 4 players in the 2023-24 voting hailing from Serbia, Canada, Slovenia, and Greece respectively. But the international talent doesn't stop there. Germany is the reigning World Cup champion and, after this draft, has 3 players on the Orlando Magic alone. Canada is sending an entire 12-man squad of NBA rotation players to the Olympics. The Celtics recently won a title with key players from Latvia and the Dominican Republic, just a year after Denver triumphed with its 2 best players coming from Serbia and Canada. Now, France is clearly having a historical moment in NBA history, and it will continue this summer as they host the Olympics and pursue the gold medal that narrowly eluded them in Tokyo in 2021. In case you forgot, France beat the US in group play, but narrowly lost to them later in the gold medal game. However, this is also part of a bigger trend as international basketball continues to make significant inroads into what was once almost an exclusively American game. Besides the 4 French players and 1 Swiss mentioned earlier, Wednesday's first round also saw a Canadian selected at 9th, a Serbian at 12th, a German at 18th, and a Cameroonian at 21st. That's 9 international players just in the first round, a stark contrast from even a year ago, when the 37 picks after Victor Wembanyama included 33 Americans, 2 Canadians, and just 2 others. And there is certainly more international talent on their way. Australian forward Johnny Furphy, Nigerian center Adam Bona, Spanish guard Juan Nunez, Swedish forward Bobby Klintman, Belgian guard AJ Mitchell, Swedish guard Hel Larsson, Serbian forward Nikola Jurčić, and French forward Melvin Ajinça all seem poised to be selected in the second round. That would bring the total to 17, and there might still be more. However, if you look deeper, this trend is about more than just quantity. Another pattern is emerging both in the rise of these French players and other international talents. International players no longer refer solely to big men like it did in the past. Yes, Victor Wembanyama is an extraordinary talent, standing at 7'4" with guard-like skills. But the more notable development is the influx of players who aren't exceptionally tall. After all, it's one thing to find kids who tower over their classmates and put a basketball in their hands, but it's quite another thing to have a development system that consistently produces skilled guards and forwards. In recent years, even as international players filled the league's big man positions, most perimeter roles remain dominated by Americans, with a few exceptions. Luka Doncic is a notable example, but he was a rare outlier until the recent draft cycles, which have seen more talented ball-handling forwards, like Franz Wagner and the recently traded Deni Avdija. Now, let's take another look at this this crop of Frenchmen. While Alex Sarr is a classic center, he's the only one of his kind in this group. Risacher, Salon, and Dadier are all combo forwards. Traore, their top 2025 prospect, is a point guard, as is Penda. The potential international second rounders mentioned previously is similar, 3 guards and 4 sharpshooting forwards. The other international first round picks included a Serbian point guard selected in the lottery and 2 small forwards. Next year's likely international prospects, in addition to the French players, feature highly touted forwards from Spain, Croatia, and Russia, as well as guards from Italy and Lithuania. And that is the real story within the story. This French takeover isn't just notable for having the top 2 players in the draft, or for a potential half-decade run where up to 20 Frenchmen could be selected. It's also remarkable for its variety in sizes and skill sets, reflecting a broader trend in international rosters. Remember, the top pick this year wasn't an overseas center. It was Risacher, a slender 6'8" combo forward. So it's not just about bigs anymore. International prospects are now demonstrating the diverse skills to rival North Americans on the perimeter as well. Risacher's selection at number 1 is just an exclamation mark on this emerging trend. International players have been dominating the sport lately. For example, the last time an American player won the MVP was James Harden, back in 2018. For context, when Harden won the award on the Rockets, LeBron was still on the Cavs, Anthony Davis was on the Pelicans, KD was a Warrior, and Jimmy Butler was still yelling at people during Minnesota Timberwolves practices. The truth is, basketball is an international sport, and while international talent has been dominating for years now, with each draft, the level and quantity of international talent continues to increase. Thanks for watching Sports Pantheon.